careful. While you're being very, very careful, the Paladin's making stuff. And the worst thing is, you always think like you're in front as the Demon Hunter because you go, yeah, I'll just hero power down this 1/1 doofus. And it's like, yeah, I'll just blow up this 2/3, who cares? Yeah, that 3/4, I don't care if it hits me. And then suddenly there's 6/6 blooming taunt things in the way and they're smashing you with weapons and it just all falls apart. So, very interesting to see how Monsanto deals with this.
It's just so ridiculous. That is a hat. Monsanto is okay, but Fled has a hat.
He said he might change up the hats because the other one wasn't working, and it might be the same hat remastered.
Yeah, he just frayed up the edges a little bit more to make it look more ridiculous. Yeah. Put a closer camera angle on, so it's really just the focal point of his webcam right now. Not the blue hair, not Fled as a person. Nope, he's even leaning forward. So all you see is this bird's nest of a hat rested atop his skull.
Sounds like
incredible.
A bad TV show. Man versus hat. Like, don't know what the TV show would be about, but yeah, I'd watch it anyway, of course. Right.
Yeah.
So it begins. Obviously, very hard to know what's going to be a problem for Monsanto in the first 2 or 3 turns, but do have to keep these under control. Otherwise, conviction actually hurts. But that tends to get held for later, obviously.
Let me think.
More importantly for Monsanto is his hand is pretty trash right now.
Yeah, the Immolation Aura could get him through the early game, but as you mentioned, right, the first wave of threats is not even the one you're worried the most about. It's those mid-game threats once things start to get a little bit bigger from the Bannerman and just 3 and up. You're looking at Goody Two Shields, Northwatch Commander, Moonfang, just everything.
Yeah, and as we will see, like it feels like the Demon Hunter should have answers. Like Glide's not a bad answer to Banana Man, for instance, but
true.
The Paladin often only has 2 or 3 cards left, even if they're good ones. So you're making the decision: do I want them to have 2 or 3 good cards, or just a new hand of stuff to just make another wave of irritating Goody Two Shields? Is like the defining card of the deck. Look at this; it's just nonsense. It's just a 4/2 Divine Shield nonsense, and it's such a nuisance to deal with.
Monsanto can clear it up here with the Immolation Aura. That's the one upside, but would be delaying quests even further, but honestly, not a real way to complete the quest anyway, unless he were to trade into some more card draw.
Might take the 5. He's trying to work out what could come down next turn.
Bannerman, Northwatch Commander. I think what he'd be worried about would be like these getting buffed out of range of Immolation Aura. So I think you just take the clear while you can.
Yep. Yeah, Fled rolls his eyes because if this Demon Hunter does get the win here, then his lineup suddenly becomes a heck of a lot worse, a lot more dodgy to deal with.
Grant you peace.
Okay. This 3/2 is a lot harder to deal with than the last one because now, obviously, that AoE has been used.
Okay. Monsanto can finally get some quest completion done here. Deciding which minion to trade. I believe it would be the Guild Trader, as Rushrot Viper actually could just be played.
But the problem is, so could the Guild Trader with the Fell Scream next turn to preserve your Moarg, so he has to think about it.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, I thought he'd be 1 mana off from being able to do that next turn, but he's going to 5 mana turn. It's just not often that the first quest is completed on 4.
Right.
So, yeah. So it is the Viper that's traded away. That makes a ton of sense. Oh, no.
We're going to have the one game that is different all day, and it's going to break.
Yeah. All right. Still starting to get bigger, though.
Yeah, Varian is just... You get through all those waves I was on about, and then Varian just comes along and invariably just is impossible to deal with as well because you've used up so many resources as the Demon Hunter.
Okay, Philosophy thrown into the Omayog. Let's see if it'll get Shadow Council. Nope, Demonic Studies. Spiritual, that's sick.
It's actually really useful.
That's actually really good.
Bit of health gain, a little bit of board presence, doesn't cost anything, helps with quests.
Imagine if it was a brute. He just he philosophies into a Demonic Studies and just casts a brute and it's discounted.
Does that even work? What?
Time grows short.
All right.
At first he's like, okay, that's not bad. It's just a 1/3. And then he thought about it for a second and realized, wait a second.
This is silly.
Yeah, this could go wrong.
And Monsanto now, because he has the Guild Trader and the Fellscreen Blast, choosing to be very greedy with his health total because he'll get a lot back coming up, especially with Moarg on hand as well. And proving me to be a liar at the moment because the Demon Hunter is in an incredibly strong position.
I wonder.
The hat is thinking.
Which one? They're both sentient. The choice here is most likely between Pack Mule 2 Shields or Bannerman Pack Mule. And there's also of if you trade, and if so, how you trade.
Yeah, and positioning is important because if it is a Fellscreen Blast, you can choose to defend at least one of your minions.
Yeah, he'd probably want to put the Goody 2 Shields in the middle if that were the case. But gonna go with Bannerman instead. And then he's gonna break the game. All right. We'll be back in a moment.
Yep, for anyone who hasn't been here for a while, the Pack Mule has a bug. When you play the left-hand one, it crashes the Observer mode.
Yeah, but we have
And
a
he
backup observer mode that'll be here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is.
It is. It's there. Yeah.
Production was 3 seconds faster than I expected. That's record time. Well done. Well done, production team.
Well done. Merca's region. Showing all the other regions how it's done. Once again.
I grow
If our casters aren't good and our players are good, at least our production team is good.
Got him. All right, Monsanto now has a wealth of opportunity to get rid of all this. The only problem he actually has is working out how he can do it efficiently and save stuff. And one of the problems here he needs to worry about is how much stuff does he want later. You can run out of threats against Paladin, but that's looking increasingly unlikely this particular game.
I got it all.
Yep. I like this, the simple one. You can take a little bit of damage here too. Guild Trader sticks on the board. He's not getting rid of too many resources. No Moargs used. Philosophy, the second philosophy not used as well. Still not getting any more progress on the quest completion, which is a problem, but... Oh, there it is. Wait, that's not what I was talking about. I thought it was going to be the moon thing. Drop the conviction. That's immolation aura used. That's one Fellscreen Blast used. Now start pumping the damage. Guild Trader actually leaving that on board would be pretty scary, even though Moonfang is quite resilient to it. It's would still leave some opportunities for Monsanto to potentially clear. So I like this. And this is a lethal setup.
Yeah! And that is the problem Monsanto is going to have almost every turn, unless he manages to get a brutish board setup, is that because of the Battle Master, there's going to be a lethal setup every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll have to give up one of his win conditions and just go all in one of the directions.
Yep. Now, Fled only plays one Battle Master. It is in hand. We can see that. But previous editions of these, like board-based Secret Paladins or hand buff Paladins, players have played 2 Battle Masters to ensure that they draw one when they need it, like in the first half of their deck. So maybe Monsanto can just hope that one's not there. Monsanto's not going to take the risk.
Time grows short.
Okay.
I think he was thinking that the philosophy would hit the brute, and then he was going to glide and try to get brutes.
Yeah, he's laughing at himself there, so... He done boo-boo.
Whoops. Monsanto.
Battle Master's back.
Whoopsie.
Oh my, everything's back. It's the same hand.
Oopsie poopsie.
So what did he think was going to happen?
Ooh, that's a good draw. He thought that the brute would get copied, and then he can glide away and have a better chance of hitting brutes.
Got you.
But it copied the Gnarg instead. That's a good pickup because that's a holy spell, which will reset the. Oh, never mind. He doesn't need to reset it. Okay. He gets it reduced though, which actually just doesn't matter. So reasonable draw regardless, though.
No removal in hand, just an expensive brute.
I think he can dump the... it might have to be just glide and then play Kurtrus and hope Battle Master's not there.
Yeah.
I grow impatient.
How else are you winning without Kurtrus, to be honest?
I mean, it's a glided hand that Fled has, so Battle Master's allowed to not be there. It's not like he's had a chance to save it or anything. Yeah.
Potions, flasks, BOE, I got it all.
He's going for the this needs to be removal.
Yeah, and he needs to hit Immolation Aura. He's just saving mana for Immolation Aura at the very end. Well, there's Soul Fragments.
Boots will be in play now if he gets one, I think.
What about Il'gynoth? What about the Gnarg? Oh no! There's two of them. Why is there two of them? And that is 18, 19, 22! Oh no, it's not.
9,
The Battle Master's gone.
13.
It's
It was a million, but he has picked up the Conviction, which is what I thought you were counting, and the weapon, so it might still be...
It's actually 23. It's even more.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were counting, if I'm honest.
No.
You could have bluffed this, TJ.
No,
you could have pretended.
That's exact. Oh no, it was 22.
See,
It was 22 either way. That's insane. Oh my
know how
gosh.
good you are.
Why did I even
You didn't
say
know
anything?
your own strength. Because I was checking it, and I was about to say, yes, it's 22. It's a totally different lethal, because his hand had changed.
It's still 22. Oh my gosh. I just didn't even look. Just. All right.
1-0. 1-0, 1-0.
All right. I expected outcome, even though it took us a little bit longer to get there than expected. But got there with the 22 damage at the end, just as I had foretold. Incredibly accurately. But that's how you'd expect that matchup to go, right? The Demon Hunter just struggling to try and get a foothold, even though there was some weird stuff happening in between. Fledge is still able to get the job done. And that's one good matchup out of the way. Fled's now going to move to his own hybrid Demon Hunter. The mirror matchup, probably the toughest one he has, just because it's a mirror. But I believe Monsanto's actually going to switch over to his rogue here.
This is, I think, of all of the matchups currently in the little 4x4 square, the most interesting. The rogue versus the Demon Hunter, because there's so many little interactions. Like, there's the obvious interactions. Do you want to brain freeze their brutes? But there's the little interactions like, when do you want to glide? How is that going to affect the state of play and so on? Also, it's kind of this weird race with hurdles in the way. Both sides are trying to just run to turn 8 and win the game. But their opponent just keeps, I don't know, throwing stuff at them and pushing them off the track and doing that sort of thing. So it's kind of cool. There's a lot going on. We have to be aware of all the different interactions and resets from Glide as well of costs of cards, that sort of thing.
Yep. And I feel like the most success we've seen in this matchup is when Rogue just tempos.
Yeah, that works well because first of all, there's not that much removal for the Demon Hunter, and secondly, obviously, that's keeping the Glide in check to some extent. But the downside is that Rogue minions die very, very easily to the frankly pathetic removal that the Demon Hunter has, which means the Demon Hunter doesn't ever have to mess with its combo kill to get rid of the Rogue board. It just plays an Immolation Aura and everything dies.
Most of the time.
Yeah, I like to be exaggerating sometimes. It's been known.
Now that's a hand for Monsanto.
Yep.
That
Neophyte, another of those intriguing cards. Interesting to see if he just jams it down or what happens with it. Mankrik, I hadn't realised was in his build. Oh, he's playing the Language Hacker build with no
Kazakis.
No Kazakus, man.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh, he's playing both.
Wait, no?
According to the deck list I'm looking at, he's playing both.
Oh, you're right. One Brain Freeze, no Pen Flinger. There it is.
Thank you. Okay, cool. So he is able to do what you said even more efficiently than usual and just curve out.
Yeah. Is that different from Language Hackers?
I think it is, yeah. This is why I'm confused. I'm almost sure that Language Hacker did not have...
Yeah, Language Hacker has no Kazakis, one Pen Flinger, double Brain Freeze, no Fox.
Monsanto betrayed him!
They actually have quite a few differences in their Rogue deck. It's like 3 cards different, so... yeah, Monsanto, the arch villain that he is, betrays his friend and practice partner.
Wow. Alright. Pretty much perfect setup here, though, for him.
He's just playing minions and hitting him.
Just 1, 2, 3.
Alright,
Fled's not phased. He has had the opportunity to do something about this and just hasn't bothered doing.
Oh, hits the Sigil Runner. At least can get the first quest complete. If he hadn't hit card draw there, that would have been pretty brutal.
Wow. The standard, TJ. We have standards and you have met them. Congratulations. Alright. Shroud, proc the Octo, all that good stuff. This is the downside, obviously, of having to play something.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
He's too busy doing his quest. Is it? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Actually is.
Though, he could have, like, Shroud. I guess he was trying to hit a step. I was saying he could have, like, Shroud first, then hit with Octobot, then Swindle. But Monsanto's got his eyes on the prize.
Right. Like, a lot of people would have been wanting to step the field contact here. Monsanto's like, nope. Just gonna go wide. Jumbo would be proud.
Initiating overdrive.
Right, Fled does have a decent hand for clearing most of this up. He's obviously not impressed by what's going on, but just Moab and Immolation Aura wipes it all out. And Monsanto's just roped, and now he has got the second Shadow Step, and now he's made his board smaller.
Well, did he miss an attack? I think is what might have happened. I'm not sure. He shook his head, though. Not pleased, I suppose. I don't know if there was anything else that could have really been done, though.
Could he have bounced the Neophyte and replayed it? In his mind, we can see that wouldn't have worked. No, that would have worked.
Yeah, I think the line was fine.
I actually do too, but
yeah.
I guess it's a bit weird to bounce the neophyte at the start of the turn to draw a card and obviously slow the opponent down, and then not go for keeping the tempo on the board.
Oh, Derek is pointing out to us he missed a mana discount on his fireball because he remembered after attacking.
That's actually quite bad.
Well,
as in, it's one of the automatic ones, right? It's one of the.
I still think the line was fine. It was just like a min-max kind of decision.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's quiet. Too
Fled's kind of stabilized, but Vogue says that's what you think.
That's an upgrade.
These shrouds are just stuck, though. That's an interesting dilemma. Not anymore.
Shadow steps that turn as well, right?
Yep.
So this kind of has to get there via beating stick.
Yeah, well, he still has a field contact left. He still has the Octobot left in hand as well. Now he's got a ring toss.
Job's done.
Just kidding. He's got a combustion. I don't know why I like ring toss and rogue so much. It just amuses me.
It's just so bad, TJ.
Good positioning there for Monsanto.
Yeah.
Shroud stealth minion in the middle.
It's actually super relevant. It's not just like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's he was never messing it up, but the fact it actually had the stealth was really relevant. It's going to make this really awkward for Fled.
All right.
Pleasure doing business.
Okay. Fled really can't afford to take much more damage without healing, but he's going to have to, so... Time to do the thing.
He can Fellscream Blast, take the field contact off the board, and then get 2 brutes down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about as good as he could have hoped for in that situation, right?
Yep. The problem he's going to have is the prize plunderers are still there. Pretty sure there's at least 1 brain freeze left. Nope, because he's only playing 1 and he's used it.
He's not at any risk of dying, so he could just go for a setup turn here. Remaining cards for Monsanto. It's double Secret Passage, which is awkward, but the rest is minions. Kind of clunky, but could go for Octobot, Shroud, and then Guardian Og Merchant. And then fit in some other stuff here or there.
Yeah, double Secret Passage can be like 2-edged. You can actually just draw the Garots if you get. I don't think he's going to ever need that situation in this game anyway. But that can be a double-edged thing. It can actually be really handy to draw into them and cast them because Fled's on such a low health total.
This is an interesting diversion, right?
Choose soon.
Because he chose to get the discount on the Shroud to have more mana available to him this turn, instead of getting the discount on the 2 minions that he drew. So got 1 less discount on minions, but left himself with 1 more mana this turn. Probably because he wanted to combustion one of these away. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, the glide off the
gone.
top!
And it's gone.
He just
And
draws
the
Smoke
game
off
starts
back
again.
right away. Oh, hit another brute. Okay. All right.
Another happy
Game on. Oh, hit a philosophy. Oh, double game on.
Yes, so many things on and gaming now.
Yeah, and I'm almost certain after like watching this play out that Monsanto was like aggressively holding the shrouds, assuming that the minions would get glowed away. But even then, that's like not even that good because then your shrouds get glid away. And you're not guaranteed to draw them back, but I guess that's more efficient because then you have Shroud draw to which is
they're in the deck, right?
Having played yeah.
We saw Gabby take a 1 mana golem, draw a card, man, just to, when you get Glod, he had it in his deck again a couple of weeks ago.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a thing, is to just hold on to those cards just in case. But the timing, like Fled hadn't cunningly held on to that glide for the whole game and it had been played around. He just ripped it.
Ooh, double plunder here, because one of them's discounted, so he can clear one of these minions off the board, which will keep him alive. But then he has to get it done next turn without a field contact.
Good. What's his last card? Can you do the thing? The magic?
Well, he has 3 cards now. It's Secret Passage, Fireball, Ethereal Aug Merchant. So Fled's low, so it doesn't need to be that much. It would have to be Secret Passage off the top, and then
Yeah. So he can Aug Merchant.
Grow impatient.
He can Aug Merchant Garrote and then just Secret Passage, and like I keep saying, he just cast the Garrotes from the passage, depending if he draws enough of them.
I don't
doing
think
3
it'll
damage
work
each.
out, though. I don't think he has the mana to be able to do that, right?
They only cost 1, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I know, but
Garrotes.
even then, it'd be 1 mana for the Ethereal Aug Merchant, then 4 for the Grots, that's 5. Then,
Oh, he's got a Fireball now as well.
yeah, but now he doesn't have the other stuff. And now,
It's just-
now Flood's at 19.
Yeah, 19's a lot different.
16.
Just any old numbers. Just numbers, man. All right, he's got to get it done now. That's what we do know, because otherwise Monsanto dies. He can go for the old 1 mana kill your... Oh my god. The 1 mana golem with poisonous and do damage and hope it hits the right
So
thing.
many
He's still dead no matter what. So if he'd only have 3 mana remaining, he can't fireball anything.
So what else can he hit? I think it's done, but is there anything clever?
Yeah, he's
anything
dead.
Funny.
He's a big old dead. Gonna see what's in the box just in case.
1 mana rush life, 1 mana lifesteal copy of this. I don't know. There's always an answer. There's always a golem.
Not an answer. It's no answer.
too soon.
Golem for all occasions.
No answer.
I was lied to. Taking this wild vine back.
I give up.
Dead. Wow. Pretty good game from Flood there. Felt like Monsanto was firing on all cylinders. Was able to draw through his deck pretty aggressively, hit the starting hand early, was able to put on a lot of tempo pressure, but then couldn't get over that final hurdle of actually killing his opponent because the 2 glides just ruined all of his progress. And obviously there was so many turns that could have been played differently for Monsanto, but all of them led to the same thing, which was draw more cards, right?
Yeah.
His hand with Double Shroud meant that he didn't have the option of just going full tempo all the time. At a certain point, he had to just start drawing cards, and it just so happened that Fled was able to get the glide out right when Monsanto filled up his hand to the max. And just wasn't able to get a good foothold after that. Fled hit the timely brutes, and now, only deck remaining for Fled, Base Hunter with a Moonfang.
All right. And I feel like this might be the tough one. I think it can get it done. Absolutely, it can get it done. But this is the one that struggles just a little bit more if it walks into a couple of brutes, and is generally just slightly more fair than the other decks Fled's brought. Which is weird, right? Because one of them's Paladin, which we know is just a fair deck normally. But in this meta, the Paladin seems to be a little bit better than the Hunter to me. Oh, there's a phrase I never thought I'd say. And this might be interesting. This might not be over just yet, but I mean, so far he's just got the job done. 2-0. Quick flick back there to now Gaiden versus Muzzy. Been that sort of night.
Yeah, that's just happened now, I guess. It's been happening, well, I want to say all day, maybe all week. Just a little bit weird. But hey, whatever. That's the kind of world we live in nowadays. Yep, Monsanto's going to move over to the handlock to face off against the face hunter first. I feel like it doesn't really matter which deck he opts to play here, because I feel like they all have kind of similar matchups. Maybe the rogue being the worst. Maybe not though. It's got a lot of tempo tools. Hard to say.
That's one of the things I really do enjoy about this meta, and I know a lot of people don't enjoy this meta, and I'm sorry for those people, but the thing I like about this meta is the games don't pan out the same way every single time. Except for Priest, where they just play a load of stuff on turns 1 and 2 and then a Lucio on 3. That happens 100% of the time. We've seen, and you will see a lot more of this rogue demon hunter weirdness that we just saw. That is a matchup that I think it's going to take ages to work out who's actually favoured in. There's so much to do with that gliding away your stuff, but I can play my stuff and try and kill you because you've not got much removal, etc., etc. going on. But here we are, a little bit more of a known quantity, the hunter, and Fled couldn't ask for a better hand.
Quickly.
He could ask for one.
You can always
probably
ask.
just give him the same thing.
All right, so he's just setting up the nonsense.
Yep. Monsanto has a decent opening hand for most matchups, but I have a feeling that
Yeah.
this is not the one.
Great restraint from Fled here. This initiate looked really tempting on turn 1, right, with coins and spells, but this is clearly better when you see it on the board.
Yeah, just setting up something resilient.
Yeah, and a 4-2 with Divine Shields, just hard to deal with for Monsanto. Yeah, Fled just wants this over. He's had a tough 3 weeks. He was tweeting like, you know, he felt that he wasn't doing anything different, so...
Alright, how much damage? You take a ton of damage if you just play Rod here. That would be
slow,
at the
right?
very least 7. And then if you Rod, you're almost certainly backfiring next turn, which means you take 10. Well, backfire is kind of only 1.5 for the first quest. So you're taking
How do you get this brute
0.5
into play?
damage.
How do we activate this brute? Like, you're worried about quick shot, but if they've got quick shot, you're in trouble anyway. How does this brute enter the fray? Do anything useful?
Wait, a brute? What are we talking about? Brutes?
A bristleback shard
Okay.
pig, man. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Not quite as bad as the Leok. I forgot the demon name of it. This series could be over in a flash.
Ouch.
Yep. I mean, he has to still run this away and just set up for the touch next turn on the on the Bone Chewer Brawler.
Yep, you have to do it the hard way, Fled.
Hungry, aren't ya?
He nods at Moonfang.
Yeah, Moonfang is sick. It's just so good. It just doesn't die. All right. Can do all of that. Backfire, Drain Soul, and Touch, but not really any good targets to hit with those. I don't know if he's eyeing the tempo out the Bloodshard Bristleback. I think he'd want to use that to stabilize later on.
Yeah,
I don't
agree.
know if
If you
there's
get
a
there.
world where he can get away without backfiring here. Go down to 4, go up to 8. Could go up to 11 if he wanted to play the Drain Soul. He picks up second touch, perhaps? Second touch!
It's it.
Can heal for 1 million! And fit in
Yep.
a tour guide.
Game is going to restart, except Monsanto's going to be pretty close to activating the Manchard pig thing.
Oh.
Bristleback.
Ignore I said that. You definitely don't want a tour guide after a Warsong Wrangler's been played.
I did ignore it. It wasn't deliberate, but I did ignore it.
Yeah, I don't think you play any minions here.
The reason being, of course, that it gets rhinoed
Yeah.
for huge amounts of damage. Okay, well, here's Moonfang. I don't know why I announced it in that way, but I'm quite proud of myself.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. This is tricky to deal with, and I assume
Yeah.
that's why Fled is playing it.
So a tap would bring Flesh Giant down to... he still doesn't want to play Panthara, does he? Like, he could go all the way down to 11 cards left in deck. So much damage. He knows that there's a Rhino there. Go up to 16 with this. Drain Soul's okay. He can actually Drain Soul away his own Tour Guide to save some damage.
There is a true aim in this deck. That be lethal?
It would be... If he doesn't kill the Tour Guide, yeah.
Okay.
Because it'd be 6, and then 6, and then 5.
Cool.
17.
Oh no, does it attack then? Does he get into anything?
Well, yeah, it'd be the Panthara. He'd trade over the Tour Guide, then he'd True Aim Crescent the Panthara, so that'd be... It's 7 attack right now, so that'd be 6 and then 5. Yeah, I like the Drain Soul away his own Tour Guide. He actually has the Bloodshard Bristleback active next turn, which is a pretty big deal. Unfortunately,
Yep.
doesn't do much against a Moonfang. That thing's just not going anywhere.
So his only
No
chance is to
Bloodshard
race?
I wonder.
This is a tough spot for Fled, actually.
Yeah, I feel like he's
Feel like-
behind, but...
Yeah, I feel like you just take... I don't know. Take the Rhino, it's just more stats on board. You may never get a better target than, like, 5 damage, right? But he's still so far away from actually killing. He'd push 11 this turn to be 8. I mean, a lot of the healing's gone. In fact, like, all of the healing's gone. Except for the Bloodshard Bristlebacks, which he now knows are active.
This fetches quite a bit of damage. Kind of makes sense. Alright. He's now hoping for no Bristleback, and he's going to be disappointed again.
Yeah, but this is super awkward for Monsanto. What is the play like? Null? Trait? Oh, wait. Why is the Bristleback not... Wait, what?
It's now 9 cards, TJ. It's okay.
Why was it... What?
It just... I don't know. It was a coward. It was... But it wasn't yellow. But now it is. It's all good.
Okay. It must have been like a visual... I don't know. Whatever. So I can do this.
Just wait for Muzzy to appear on the Bristleback and tell us it's active. It'll be fine. Alright. He can't get through this lot, and he's dead next turn. Monsanto did a good job of setting up a lethal here whilst making sure he's alive.
Yeah. This is very cleanly done. Can Fled stay alive on board if he quick shots the Bristleback? Like trampling Rhino over the... Or trade Moonfang into the 6/6. Trampling Rhino over the 3/2 quick shot. That would leave 12 damage on board, and he'd push 5 to face. And then next turn, he would have, what, 10 from hand with quick shot, aim shot, hero power?
Okay. So now he's going to have to waste his... He's not enjoying this part of things at all, because he's seen this story before where he's 2-0 up. Now he's going to have to waste his removal, or his direct damage, and use it as removal just to stay alive. Which... When you're a hunter and you just start hitting your opponent's minions with your spells, it's always the beginning of the end.
Yeah. imagine just being able to raise dead. That's lethal because the quest completion. So it'd be the 13 on board. It would equal 16 with quest completion. And Monsanto fights his way back in the series. That looked very grim at the beginning, but nicely navigated all the way down to like 4 health at one point. But was able to bounce back up with the quest completions plus hitting the healing in a timely fashion. So one down for Monsanto, has to reverse sweep Face Hunter, which I think, all things considered, is probably the weakest deck in Flood's lineup. Face Hunter just doesn't pack as much of a punch as it once did. Secret Paladin has the value of so much reload, plus the added disruption of secrets and lethal from nowhere if anything sticks on the board. Face Hunter doesn't have that.
Yeah, I think that the best chance is going to be against the Demon Hunter, which is kind of the point, so nothing's really changed from the initial intro, to be fair. And we'll have to see how that one goes down. I'd imagine that he's not favoured in that matchup, but he's got 2 goes at it, and Hunter can just sometimes do the Hunter thing. Rogue does not like having things thrown at it. Of course, it can't unthrow them when they're thrown. All that direct damage would just be useful.
Yep.
It doesn't have an 8/8, it can just plop onto the board as a counter threat. It has to actually beat you with the combo, and yeah. When it comes to the Rogue, if it gets that far, it's going to be interesting. But first of all, Fled might just get this done against the Demon Hunter. Shows how seriously Monsanto takes the threat of losing here. He just kept the Guild Trader, right? Unless I misunderstood that mulligan.
Get this out of the way.
Yeah. Take 1 before it's doing 3.
Get that out of the way. Put this on the board.
Alright, that's how it's going to be, is it?
Can't get this out of the way. That's staying.
Yep. Plays the quest on turn 2. Don't see that very often. Quest almost always, unless Derek throws it away in the mulligan, played on turn 1. And he didn't do that on purpose, just to be clear, in case anyone thinks Derek's a silly boy. He's not a silly boy. He's a very silly boy.
Yeah, throwing away the quest in the mulligan by accident is silly. Being Derek is incredibly silly.
Right, Monsanto, what are you going to do?
Just efficiently complete quest.
I grow impatient.
I've got to do it. Yeah, you've got time, right? That's what we've been talking about. He's taking 8 next turn, though. Still has no sign of any removal. No sign of any brutes. We'll see what Fled does here. I think the point is just keep going all in, yeah. No point worrying about what might happen, just keep hitting them. Hope they don't have it.
Right now, Monsanto doesn't have it. Whatever it is, it's not there. Oh, now it is. Now it's there.
Might be it. With philosophy as well. Plenty of card draw going from the left. He is going to be able to get down 2 brutes.
Yep. This will be... Yeah, it'll be easily rootable.
Yeah. I mean, he can play the brute now is always the clue I look for, right? 4 mana, 4 cost brute. So you can guarantee to get it down to 0, and if you've got a 0 philosophy to go with it, you can guarantee to get 2 of them.
Yep.
That's the beginner level one that I can do.
Also has the opportunity to pick up another philosophy. Does not. I think 2 buff brutes will be fine. Also has an extra mana to work with, so could trade away the peddler for 1 more chance, though the philosophy would not be discounted. but I think he wants to dig deeper into his deck to find a way to bounce back post-Brutes. Moarg is fantastic with the Fellscream Blast in hand. Brutes.
Every time. I just let you have it now.
Thank you.
No, it's the highlight of your day. Part of the bit where we say, good morning to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, or we say good morning to each other at 2:30 in the afternoon for me and 7:30 in the evening for you.
Mm-hmm. Good morning.
Top of the morning to you.
Right, can Fled find a way through the Brutes? Obviously, he can get through one on board. That's a good start.
Ooh, he's got a Volpertinger to buff on board. He could play it for more tempo. That's pretty cool, I'd say, actually. Deals with one Brute quite easily, and now gets to just reload the board again. Though that's not bad. Would be a shame if something were to happen to it.
Yeah. Monsanto does have the option here just to take it all down.
Oh, what if you go
It's his win con.
Demons.
Il'gynoth?
Il'gynoth double Fellscream.
Do you need to do that? Can you just go Guild Trader and then some cunningly positioned Fellscreams and trade in your thing and just Fled has nothing left and you've got nearly 30 and you've got 2 big minions down?
How does Flood ever kill your Il'gynoth?
That's also fair. I'm just thinking that I would like to gain some life before doing that.
Fine.
And then I'll play the Il'gynoth next turn. Otherwise there might be an accident with some quick shots and aim shots and things, right? But we're going to game number 5, and the Demon Hunter has escaped, but the Rogue still gonna have to do some work.
Yep, it's all gonna come down to this.
And you were saying earlier that you think that the Rogue probably has to tempo this, right? Otherwise it's just gonna suffer from things
100%.
being thrown at it.
Yeah, has to play for tempo. Has to play for tempo. I would say similar to kind of how we see the Rogue versus Shadow Priest go, but not quite as bad because there's not as much early game stuff that you have to deal with, right? Hunter can whiff on their early game, and then you have to worry about the mid game, but that's when you can kind of worry about the draws. But I think you have to focus your attention to tempo and then shift if the Hunter has a slow start. But even then, it's kind of dangerous because if they have a slow start, it means like Rhinos and Barracuda Bane,
Right.
where they're going to just ramp up the damage eventually. It's just going to take them a second. But tempo is even how you beat that. So we'll see. It's not every day that we get to see Garrote Rogue versus Face Hunter. In fact, I don't think we've seen it in a competitive match since the finals of Masters Tour Silvermoon.
I daren't press the button because it might just crash the whole broadcast. But I'll probably check later.
What button? Do you have a like a stats button? Boom!
Yeah, I do. I have the Excel button that just goes search for this matchup and it crunches away in the worst programmed thing ever and will tell me. But
Pretty sure it happened in the finals of Master Silvermoon.
I think you're right.
Not 100% sure, but they both A-Rock had, or so that wasn't the finals. No, what match was that? That A-Rock
Semi-finals. It definitely happened in the semi-finals.
Yeah, semifinals. Sorry.
But didn't he reach the final? Oh no, you've confused me. He did reach the final.
Did he?
Oh my goodness, it was 2 weeks ago. How am I supposed to know? I cast it as well, by the way. Yeah, he did reach the final.
Okay, it was in the final then. Pretty sure it happened in the final. And if not, then it could have happened in the final because they each had that deck on the...
It was Hunter versus Shaman, game 5 of the final, where the Hunter just whiffed.
Okay. What did the Garrote Rogue beat? Curious. Was it banned? Did it beat any?
Beat the mage.
Okay, beat the mage.
final.
Okay. Never mind. Didn't happen in the final. But I'm glad you pressed the button. That was just an exercise in pressing the button. All right. Fled. Reasonable opening hand. Monsanto. 2 secret passages.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Because it's a bad thing. He hasn't even got anything to do with his Foxy or his contact.
Yeah.
Fled at the moment has no really good backup, though. He has plays, but they're not very good for turn 2.
I'll meet you soon.
Is he going to coin dagger?
Coin dagger seems okay. Starts picking these things off. I mean, it's not okay, but given the mess he's in. Oof. I could do with some buffs. Second prize.
No buffs, just damage.
We need to keep an eye on this true aim rhino thing. This is a very real threat this time.
Yep.
As he has the cards.
Alright, Monsanto gonna go digging here with Secret Passage. Gotta find some good stuff. Is able to prep it out. We'll have 3 full mana. He's looking for Octobot, Prize Plunder, anything that can ping for 1 damage. That can
That's
ping
one.
for 1 damage.
No.
That
No.
can't do it.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
What do you get? Ping dagger?
Oh, no.
Ping and dagger?
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? You can not ping dagger and
Shroud.
Yeah, that's your other choice is to not do it.
I'm too addicted to just ripping Shroud.
Right, now it's Fled's turn to need to rip a good card, though, because he is also in Oofville. Oh, my goodness.
He's made the same face as Fled simultaneously.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Oh.
Shenanigans.
That's stuff on board.
Care to make a wager, friend?
He'd be pretty stranded. First flame.
Yep.
Subtle. Also just pointed out to me that Monsanto has put on the shirt that is required for him to put on by Canadian law, which is the Canadian
good
Hearthstone shirt.
Subtle is paying attention. That's the most important thing that
I
came out of
know.
that.
Which I'm glad he did put it on because otherwise he'd be arrested.
I don't know. I think the sales might be full in Canada tonight.
Nobody who watched, if anybody's watching and didn't watch the beginning of the broadcast, they have no idea what's going on.
That's fine. I've watched it all and I've had no idea what's going on all night.
We had the battle for Canada early on with Language Hacker versus Eddie. And Lorinda and I promptly pointed out that they were both wearing the same shirt because that shirt was written into law by the Canadian government that it has to be worn by every Canadian Hearthstone player on official broadcasts.
TJ, he's quick shotting him in the face. Stop it.
Okay. I mean, that's what else is he gonna do? Honestly, like his hand is only damage. He's got True Aim Crescent plus Rhino into True Aim Crescent plus Rhino. That's his game plan.
Yep. It's actually a reasonably good one. It's a lot of damage, and we always say this, but you know, damage sticks against rogues.
So let's count the damage, right?
Let's do that.
So next turn, you would trade over 1, then True Aim Crescent the other, so that would push 3 and then 4, so that's 7. And the turn after that, assuming there's 2 more 2 health minions, would be another 7, and then he'd be 1 off.
And he has
needs
hero
3
powers
turns.
and time. He's on 28.
Yeah.
He's not dying anytime soon. It's turn 4. It feels like turn 17 because we've been going into the intricacies of Canadian law. By the way, nothing you hear on this stream should be taken as legal advice, especially if you're a Canadian citizen.
No, please don't.
Care to make a wager, friend?
But yeah, he's got plenty of time. This is almost back to the very start of the show where Muzzy sort of didn't put somebody to like 8 and just press the button a lot of times.
Oh,
He's getting out there. He's
or
getting back
Oasis
in there.
ally. Ice barrier also reasonable, though with Fled's game plan currently, that is actually not. Oh, and now he puts a 1 health minion on board.
More damage. Lots more.
Which
It's
means
2
that
more.
now the clock works out for Fled, because now he gets to go 4 plus 4, which is 8, and then only needs 2 health minions on board to be able to find lethal the following turn.
All right. And there's a Divine Shield Octobot there, which, you know. Fled. Pay attention. He's trying to distract you. The evil Monsanto.
Oh, he
Gives it up.
conceded.
Fled takes it down. The hero of the day. We've had 7 people playing the same lineup, and Fled's the only one playing something different. He trashes the hat in excitement.
He kissed
Down
it
to
first.
3 villains
Kissed it
and
then
Fled.
trashed it.
And now we've got a movie because Superman 2 has the exact same plot line. It's 1 man versus 3. They're all equal strength. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, this comes back to your research earlier of a superhero movie that was 7 villains and
Right.
1 hero. And you're waiting all broadcast for Fled to win, so you could jam into one that was 3 villains and 1 hero.
Yep.
And there you go. And by tomorrow, Lorinda and I will come up with very cool villain names for all the remaining villains. Sneaky Dimitri was defeated yesterday. And
3 Brute Eddie also out.
3 Brute Eddie was also defeated. Language Hacker and McBannerface actually are both already villain names.
Yep.
So they're done. And then we'll come up with one for Nalgidon.
We will.
But I'm not going to even
Sure we
try
won't
now
fail.
because it's been a heck of a day. I've
It
lost
really
track
has.
of everything that's been going on. So, but there you go. There's the top 8, and also 4 different countries being represented in the top 4. Now get out from Argentina, Language Hacker from Canada, Big Banner Face from the United States, and Fled from Brazil. So that's also kind of cool. It's not something that happens very often because, you know, we don't really have many. I think we only have 4 countries represented, right?
At the moment, yeah.
All the Latin American players are either from Brazil or Argentina. I hope I'm not missing anybody, but I don't think I am.
No, we used to have Impact,
do a
who
quick
was
check.
at various points from Mexico.
Yeah, I think that's true. Oh, we have all of the 4 countries being represented in the top 8 that even exist currently in America's Grandmasters. So should be a fun